Hey everyone, it's Mike Andes. I'm the founder of Augusta Lawn Care. We have over 150 locations around the world. I was in person with a business owner that does chauffeuring. If you're like, well, this isn't necessarily home service, there's a lot of similarities in terms of getting recurring revenue.
If I spend about $3,000, I'm bringing in $30,000.
Focusing on your core, larger customers that are bringing in lots of revenue.
If you guys want to fight over that, I'll get everybody online.
These are some of the hurdles that Obi, the founder of the chauffeuring business, is struggling with.
When I see their faces, when they light up with, oh, this guy really thought about me.
And I believe that these are applicable to any service business where you have any sort of recurrence.
How do we get those customers without spending the ads? And secondly, how do we keep them coming back?
How do I turn a one-time landscape project into a monthly contract where I'm coming back every single month and taking care of the landscaping?
Leads solve everything.
And he's servicing rock stars and top-level entrepreneurs that get private cars instead of Ubers from the airport. So this is an interesting one. It's an extended cut from a turnaround that I did recently. Let's go ahead and roll the coaching tape.
So then if you had to, like, say for example on a $100 trip or a $150 trip,
Okay.
what's kind of like the breakdown of what actually would go to a driver? I guess it would probably depend a lot on whether they have their own car versus your own.
Yes.
Okay.
Typical industry-wise, it's 20%.
Okay.
So whatever 20% is, so $100, $20, but that's just a one-way. Some people pay that. What I do, I guarantee my drivers for one-way is minimum 2 hours.
Okay.
So that's $40. So
Okay.
if they do a trip as 140, they get $40. We keep 100.
Yeah.
So that's about the individual, and then they get to keep their tips.
Got it.
So that's what makes it fun for them, and they do a great job. They get, I've gotten $1,500 tips, $1,000 tips, $500 tips, $100 tips. So it makes up.
Yeah.
So once they do a great job, and I'm trying to figure out a great P for this thing,
Right.
trying to figure that out because I don't know how to put that together yet. But yeah.
I almost wonder who it could be, because a lot of times I find people that have their own car especially are more entrepreneurial.
Yes.
And even if you gave an opportunity for them to make more than 20% if they brought the lead.
Okay.
Because if they actually started thinking about, okay, how do I get leads myself? And the fear a lot of times is like, what if the client starts calling them directly?
Yeah, I mean, that's happened, I mean, that's why I pick my people, vet my people well, and I pick the right people to do the right job. That in this industry, that's the honor code.
Right.
You don't take anybody else's client.
Right.
If someone calls me, affiliate calls me last minute, say, hey, I need you to do this job, that's why there's no signage on my car except my license plate.
Right.
No signage because I can go in and work for any of the other affiliate companies, and they're really great ones. Yeah. So I'm with these people, I represent these people right now at this time.
Right.
And we go from there. So it's just a cardinal rule. You don't sniff other people's clients. And even if they call you, you tell them, book them through me.
Right.
And because we already have the affiliate rate and the affiliate plan. So
yeah.
That's kind of the thing. And when you break it, then it's bad because people know, and they're like, hey, they'll blast you. Yeah.
Yeah. Because even the drivers that you currently have with you, if it was like, hey, if you guys find more clients, you can get, say, 40% or 50% of revenue versus 20%.
Yeah, I mean, for them, I help them out in a way where I'm like, some jobs, they're just not standard for us. Right. Like some I can't do some jobs, and I'm like, hey, I can't do this. They call me, they want a cheaper rate. If you want to do it, go ahead and handle it. Because some of these guys, they're already independent contractors. They have their own cars. They work for Uber before. Right. So, and the rates with those are just really going down. Right. The hills is just terrible. Right. So to keep them employed, if I'm giving them a good lead, I break it down usually 60-40, 70-30, mm-hmm. however that goes, because I'm doing all the work. I'm answering the calls, paying for the ads, doing all this, giving it to you. So right. Obviously we got to figure out a way that makes it make sense for me and makes it make sense for them. So we've just been doing those kind of splits. So, if I'm charging maybe 160, 170, I give them $100, keep the other 70. Mm-hmm. So that's how it works.
On the marketing side, I know you have the agency now, and they're
yes.
running the ads.
Yes.
Do you know what your customer acquisition cost is on those? Or did you do some sort of breakdown on leads or anything like that?
I tried, so an average, if I spend about $3,000, mm-hmm. I'm bringing in $30,000
okay.
on those. So it's high, but it's about $25.
Got it.
$22.
But are you
actively tracking everything?
Yeah. Because like my question is like, if we stopped ads tomorrow, would we get more? What would our revenue be tomorrow? Would it be 15,000 next month?
If we stop ads, we have, because the thing is, as the ad come, we get regulars from the ads too.
Right,
so
right.
we have recurring from the ads. So
That's my
if
one.
we-
That's what I'm
there's a-
questioning.
if we, I feel like because and these people that travel or this book that book last minute, they check through the ads. That's what they seen. Whatever they put it in is what they seen. They're viewing, making sure the review is right, that we get that right. Then they just going for who can help them.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was thinking about getting rid of the ads, but there's no good way to do that. That's it's just part of for us here. And I know all the bigger companies, just part of their thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the challenge is if we have, let's say, $150 trip, and we're giving $50 just say to a driver, if we're spending another $50 on acquiring the customer from ads, like we're literally eating half of our profits.
Yeah.
And especially if they're one-off customers, I think like the real money in this game is the recurring customers just going to call you
Yes.
once a month, once a week, whatever.
2-3 times a week. Yes,
and
those
just-
kind of guys. Yes.
And so then it's a matter of like, first off, how do we get those customers without spending the ads? And then secondly, how do we keep them coming back? And so from the keep them coming back part, what's the sort of strategy to do we do an email marketing to our existing customers? Do we give discounts around certain times to them? Like, is there any sort of way of reactivating customers?
I feel like the email would work because if we think about it, the people that make these calls for VIPs are their office assistants. So it's where to get your office assistants, those guys that make that decision for the boss, because the boss is not the book industry.
Right.
It's the office assistant, and I've made really good. I'm figuring out how to get better with connecting with them.
Right.
Because based on the connections I've had with so far, that's what's bringing me some of the stuff I have right now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so right now, outside of the ads, are we doing any sort of other outreach or networking, or is it really the ads drive the leads?
Ads drive the leads right now. I've not been doing any. I've not really done any hard networking, which is what I started to do slowly because at first when I started, I just wanted to see whether this was going to work.
Right.
Then it blew up, then it worked. Then I started growing, and I was like, I can't just do one car. I have to do more cars. Then I decided now, okay, this year too, I want to make it more profitable. So I leaned out the cars I use, got the right people involved. Then I was like, okay, now it's a growth. It's not growth, but it's just to make it more profitable.
Right.
And that's where I'm still tweaking a lot of all these other things to get to where we need to be to probably establish and go up.
And really, ultimately, it's like even with the cars we currently have, we could probably do 500,000-600,000.
Yes.
Easily. Okay.
I know that,
Right.
and especially in this market, Columbus. Yeah, we can easily do that.
And
We
so-
could easily do 1 million here.
Right.
Yes, if we even tried. Like I know, lots of business that we leaving off that phone calls or something was not answered or we didn't get back on time or stuff like that because I'm the one handling all that right now.
And really, right now, it's just a matter of getting leads. Then.
Yes.
Like it's just simply if we get triple the leads, a lot of these other problems we can
We'll
figure out.
Yes.
Okay. And so right now, is there just not enough profit in the business for you to go, okay, I'm going to remove myself from driving and just do the actual networking and driving leads?
Well, it's not that there's not enough profit. It's I'm good at the closing part.
Yeah.
I probably need to replace. I've stopped doing the driving. What I did, I took away from the driving. Only driving maybe VIPs or special request people that request me, or new guys that I just want to figure out what they like, and I do that driving just so I can know what they want, know how they roll.
Yeah.
Then I can pair them with the right driver that works for them because I can tell what someone wants, and I know who the kind of driver I want to put them with.
Yeah.
So I do those drive-ins just to still be, because I feel like I'm still in the manager stage. I need to be in the field with them so I can have a tone on what's going on.
Right.
But while doing that, I can't answer calls.
Right.
So when phone calls come in, and I'm really good at closing because I know what to tell them. I have sales experience, so I know how to close and the end. So I'm doing admin, driving, but I've stepped back from that to start being more in the community, but at that point too, I'm still getting phone calls.
Right.
So what do I do? So that's kind of where we got here, possibly thinking of getting someone to just answer phone calls or figuring out a way to do that phone system that makes sense, that we can get all the leads that we need and book it.
Yeah.
Because if the cars are going, the cars is there, it's just Just need to open up the faucet maybe.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
more
Like
work.
the challenging part with the answering the phones with this business is like it is so wide of hours, and you're only gonna get a few calls a day, like 5-6 calls a day,
Yes.
maybe.
Yes.
Right. So it would be ideal to have an answering service.
Okay.
But like that person's gonna have to be of your caliber in terms of sales. Otherwise, it's a waste of time.
Exactly.
And so, if there's only 5 or 6 calls a day, I'm not opposed at this point to still you handling the call.
Yeah.
The question is, if you're in meetings or you're trying to like network with people, you can't take the call.
Yes.
So even if it was like a backup plan, like it's like, hey, if the call gets missed on my phone, it goes to this
Somebody
answering
say-
service.
Okay.
And then it's at least being managed.
Yeah.
Because ideally, it's like we really focus on the B2B customer. These are like event planners, like
Yes.
people for weddings.
Wedding people.
Right,
Yes.
people for funerals,
Course,
people
yes.
for VIP meetings, like and big gatherings and conventions, and
Yes.
like for example, we're doing a event. We need John Taffer brought in with a exact service like yours.
Exactly.
And so like they require that. They don't even allow us to
No,
use
you don't.
something
No,
else.
that's the thing. We've done we've had good luck with the city and some stuff like that with the zoo and all these, where some artists they just require black card service, so there's no way around it. They call, hey, who's the black card service we used before, and we just plug in with them.
Yeah.
So it's a required service. Like these guys are not using Ubers,
Yeah.
so my competition is not even that.
Right.
My thing is letting people know what I do here
Right.
and claiming my ground.
Right.
And having a better website, having a better stuff like that, that just makes it much easier and doing stuff, which is what we're working
And
on.
like the bride and groom, they don't just go find their black card service. They're going to the wedding planner and be
Yes.
like, who?
Who?
And so I think it's like, where are those middlemen that we
Yes.
can contact
Yes.
and just become their best friends?
Exactly.
And that's the part where it's like, it is networking, it is going to be with them, it is
Exactly.
getting in front of them.
Exactly.
And that's the part like, that if we can establish that, we want to get rid of the ads. Because like we can't scale where right now we're spending 3, 4, 5 grand a month on ads, going after I feel a lot of one-off customers.
Yes.
Because an ad is
Retail.
going to show up after someone just find
Sure, yeah.
quickly trying to find you.
Yeah.
And if we're spending $30, $40, $50 on a $150, like that's a huge chunk of that revenue
Yeah.
just going to a one-off job.
Yeah. Well, most of our jobs are like average spend is about $600-700. So most of
Really?
it, yes.
Really?
Average spend is $600-700. I mean, we
Wow.
do it's hourly. So
Right.
most of these jobs are business people come in for 6-7 hours, 4 hours. They've come in flying private jets. They're coming in. They're going to do a meeting. They're going to go here. Oh, they're going to need to go to New York, or the weather is bad. We need to go somewhere. When they go to Chicago, that's 12 hours.
Right.
So those jobs are long-term or long-hour kind of deal. So that's why it doesn't really affect me paying $20-30 to
Right.
get the lead, because
Yeah.
if I get a 7-hour job or a 7-hour van job or 30 or 3-day weekend stuff, it pays for itself. It more than pays for itself.
So how do we then nurture those leads to make sure that in the future they're not even searching for us again, they're just coming straight to us? Like, are we any sort of lead nurturing, or like your database? I would assume is probably 1,000 plus contacts.
Yes.
Right. Like, is there any sort of nurturing we're doing
No,
now?
nothing.
Okay.
I need to learn how to do that. So nothing. Yeah. So this is average spend. This is
cool.
our stripe. So
That's
this is
awesome.
where we are today. I'm not anything today,
Yeah.
but this is
So if we
this
go
month. Yeah.
customers,
Yeah.
payments, 6-9. Wow, you're right.
Yeah.
These are a bigger ticket.
Yeah, the big ticket item. They're not like a $1,500 average is $700-800 per ride.
Yeah.
So
That's pretty cool, man. Interesting. Yeah, so you're right. Like getting the lead isn't necessarily a bad thing unless they're doing like the minimum, which is
the minimum
160.
and the minimum is the airports.
Right,
So those
got
are the
it.
short-term things where you can't. They only go in 14 miles. They probably go in 7 miles. It's a 14-minute trip.
Right.
And those
Convention
are
center
those
type
are
thing.
bread. Yeah, those are not. They're not a main thing, but those lead into other things, because when you get them that way, then also they say, oh yeah, I'm staying here for this. I'm doing other things, or I'm going. But those add up. Like,
Well, you could even just take like Stripe, because you're using Stripe, integrate that with something like MailChimp.
okay.
And so that way, every single time someone books, it already is going into your email database
Okay.
in your list.
Yeah.
And then I would just really focus on the fact that like, because you serve this market, every time there's a big event in this city, you're sending out an email blast, right? So if there's a big PGA Tour event, you send it out to 1,500 people. I guarantee you'll book your weekend solid,
Nice.
right?
I believe that.
And then really like tailoring, like so for example in the gym industry, we'll do like summer slim down. And then like for Halloween, we'll do like another event.
Yes.
Christmas, it's this. It's doing
Yes.
7 days of Christmas, like do the challenge.
Exactly.
Right? And so it'd just be a matter of like, this is your market, Columbus and Cleveland, and it's like every time there's a big event in this market, it could be every week or two that you're like, we're gonna make an email blast for that.
Our convention center really books solid.
Yeah.
So I have not gotten even in there. So I watched some videos. Like every time I watch stuff and I learn, I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this shit. There's a lot of things I'm not doing yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like there's more things we need to do and do better. So I'm catching tail ends of things which they book everybody else, then they come into me later or before. Sometimes I catch the beginning of it, and then I'm also booked solid.
Yeah.
But if you catch the tail end of stuff, then you can charge You can charge high because this last minute everybody's booked, nobody else has it. So it's like, hey, because even when we did the championship here, we have a really good MLS soccer team here.
Yeah.
They needed 26 cars. Like nobody has 26 cars in Columbus. You can't possibly make them, or the limo, or doing prom season. So it gets really crazy when it gets crazy.
Because you can even segment them. Like the 2.0 version of that is, when they're booking, you figure out, okay, what segment of my customers? Is this a corporate event? Is this a professional athlete? Is this an executive? Whatever it might be. And then you start having, okay, this is going to be for corporate. I'm going to send an email to all the corporate level people. Okay. This one's going to be for events, right? So weddings, funerals, proms, etc. Okay. And then you could target them separately as well. Okay. But like, I really believe the ability to reach out to these customers and keep them in your world is what prevents you from having them on the treadmill of spending on ads.
Yeah, I want to get off that treadmill. Trust me, believe me, I want to get off that treadmill. I just want to get off the treadmill the right way because it's working still. Yep. So it's like I need to tweak it a little bit, and it's a two-step process because if I just take the ads off and just run it straight and then book in directly, then there's no compensation. It's figuring out that part.
Yeah, well, you still do the ads because they're working. It's just a matter of we want to get so busy to the fact you're like, I'm questioning whether I should even have these on because I'm so busy.
Yes.
Right? Like we don't turn them off because we have so much capacity. Yes. Right? Like if we're looking at the capacity that we can do, we're probably like here, like halfway in terms of how much revenue we can produce. Yeah. So we're not going to turn off the ads, but if we can increase this by literally getting like a MailChimp, set up, integrating with Stripe, you immediately probably have 1,000+ contacts. Yes. And immediately start booking. Like you send out one email a weekend before a big event, you get 5-6 extra. Like that is worth to you just an ad spend a couple $100.
Yes.
And probably literally could double the revenue. Like instead of thinking about new customers, we just think about more and better. Take our existing customers and do more with them, and then you get higher lifetime value from them.
Okay. Well, right now, the only question I have about that is some of my clients right now, they don't live here. They come in, they visit, and they book those trips. So,
but when are they coming? They're coming for events.
For events, yes.
Right, and so that's why we would target when you literally look at a calendar. Okay, these are the 20 big events in Columbus or inside Cleveland area.
Ohio State football games.
Boom. Yeah. Right.
Okay.
And so, and then down the road, you'd start segmenting. Because, for example, a corporate person might not care about the football game. However, they really care about 3 or 4 events at the convention center. Yes. So down the road, when they're checking out, if you can just have what brings you to this area, and they had a list of 4 things, you could then segment that inside of MailChimp to know exactly what are these people actually looking for. Okay. And then your offers would be tailored to that. Okay, this is the calendar. This is the marketing calendar for corporate events. This is the marketing calendar for the football and the sports side of things. Okay. And then you just simply be making your whole job would be just how do I keep these people engaged with me?
Making offers for them.
Making offers, 100%.
Yeah.
Right, and then you can tailor your experience in the driving too. Yeah. If they're coming to a football game,
pick them up from the airport, take them to the game, do all the whole thing.
Here's a hat. Here's a hat.
Yeah.
Right. That's game over if you're able to start tailoring the experience
to them. Yes. I feel like that. Yeah. I had some contact with some restaurants that say, "Hey, I want to do something with you." It's just I'm the only one. I can't go. I was still driving still, so now that I just got off not driving a lot like that, so it's this is the time to build those relationships and do those things.
And so do you feel from a financial perspective, the business can handle you stepping out of the field or stepping out of doing the driving? Is that not a problem?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So then it's just a matter of like, we just got to fill our schedule doing that, but then making sure that someone answers the phone when
Phones.
you don't pick it up.
Yes.
Got it. And are there answering services in this world, or like, is it something that we can just find a more generic answering service?
Yeah. I have to explore. I've
Okay.
seen some different people. I've seen some different people use different places, use the Philippines. I've seen different people use different kind of services. I've seen AI. I'm thinking AI. Somebody told me some people using some AI tech to delay the calls or move. Because I was really checking on how many people call me versus, because the big money item, the $7,000, the $10,000 jobs, you want to talk on the phone with them.
Right.
They want to hear your voice. I mean, they can accept it and say yes, but they want to know that you're competent, you know what you're saying. So those ones I always call and try to make sure. But the airport, the little, hey, just pick me up here, those come in, right now, they just come in text form and I can just accept them, so yes or no. So I feel like I'm working on a way where there's less touch, make it easy for them to come in, pay them, accept the job, give it to them, get somebody to sign it. So.
And are those coming through your website when you say accept those jobs, or is that coming from another lead source?
So it's coming through the website too.
Got
Through
it.
the website too. I get a text message, something is here, then I say, okay, I accept it, give them the price, send it back to them, they accept, they pay.
Got
So
it.
that's it.
So it's still on a bid per service basis.
Not bid. I'm still fixing. There's a way to fix our system, our software, where it gives them an actual price.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working to tweak it out well to the price I want. I mean, it's there. You can actually book right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 zones set up, but to make it better, where they know what the price is and they can just book and pay.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, I always like to, because they might say an address here, but it might be in Cleveland.
Right.
Or it might be somewhere far. So when I try to look at the stuff so that I can really value and engage the job, because sometimes if you don't, you give them a price, then you realize this is a 2, 3, or 4 hour job, and you only charge them because you thought it was just a 10-minute job, but no.
Right.
So those are the kind of things where I just review each stuff before going, but I feel like that's something I can train us, like find somebody else do.
Yeah, and even just like package pricing, right? So
Yeah.
for example, you can make something around Ohio State, like a Buckeye special.
Yes.
It's like, here's what it's going to include, and you can add all these little things that don't cost you very much.
Yes.
Like you can have theme music that's being played, and like it's coming with a jersey and a hat, and it's like,
Yes.
hey, if someone can get a jersey, a
Get a
hat,
hat.
show up to a game, and they're like ready to go with a flag and everything,
Nice.
we'll pay an extra $1,000 for that, right?
True.
And
True.
so I think like creating bundles, like for a wedding planner, if they go on there, like, here's the package we have for weddings. We roll out the red carpet. We have this. This is what we look like. And like, it is a website or a page on the website that's dedicated to that type of specific service.
Okay.
I think it would help with SEO too.
Yes.
Because if people are looking for the Buckeyes, if they are looking for wedding planning, if they're looking for corporate stuff, and then you have a web page that's dedicated just to that.
Each one of them.
So it's yourwebsitedomain.com/Buckeyes/wedding
Weddings.
plan, like whatever it might be. To really just, like, you want that wedding planner, like, this is gonna blow my client away.
Yes. Nice.
And you can put so many little things that they don't cost you very much. Like rolling out the red carpet, you buy
Yeah.
that red carpet one time for a couple $100, and you use it 1,000 times.
Oh, we do that. Like birthdays, they don't expect it, but we come up with cupcakes. We get a cupcake here, $20 from one of the real small business out here, and we put it in, and it just makes their day.
Yeah.
Like,
And if you make that part of the package,
Right,
you can
yeah.
add little things, but make it look like an incredible experience.
Yeah.
And that is just like worth so much.
Yeah, airport, some people want visitors, they come in one time. If they tell me, I do it on my own because I just love doing that kind of stuff.
Right.
Because that's what, like, when I see their faces, when they light up with, oh, this guy really thought about me. He really thinks about this stuff. So that's what makes it special.
Yeah.
Kid's birthday, you put a balloon, you put their name on there, or you put something with their face on there. So it's really fun.
Yeah, and it's like, how do you package that in a way the customer like knows what they're getting?
Yes.
Because like they're just gonna, otherwise people will compare you as a commodity.
Exactly.
And
that's
what
why
you
I don't want. That's why I say we are chauffeurs. It's a different level of service. It's more than just driving.
Right.
When I first started, and people that want to compete, they're like, driving it's just to drive here and there. But I'm like, no, it's more than that. You have to know the area. You have to be situational aware. You have to know how to park. You have to get out. You have to know what doors to go, the back doors of areas, how to get out different places, the stadiums, different routes, all the stuff that you need to know, the best steak in the place, like what he asked me when he came. The best steak location, stuff like that. So current locations, okay, Kinko, where do they need to go? Where is the Starbucks from the airport? What's the closest one? What's the one they can get in and get out? So it's like little information that you need to know, that when you're a chauffeur, you're just not a driver, you know. Drivers just drive, but chauffeurs, they plan, they think ahead, and they take care of the clients.
Yeah.
So they go do stuff, you know, like I get people that call me to go pick up their mom, take them shopping. They don't live here, but they just go. So they do stuff. We do that all the time.
That's
Or
awesome.
hospital visits, different little
Really,
things
yeah.
like that. Hey, go take my dog. I'm leaving. So it's like stuff like that we get calls for, and we just do them because that's just the level of trust they've had with us.
Like, I think there's two big opportunities when I look in the business. One is like lead generation, and two is lead nurturing.
Yes.
Lead generation is we want to switch from a B2C company to a B2B company.
Yes.
And that's going to come in the form of, instead of relying on the ads where a lot of it's one-off, it's people just finding one time you want transacting with you. It's like we need to go build relationships with all the middlemen to all the customers.
Yes.
Because the most valuable customers have middlemen.
Middleman. Yes.
Right? And you just got to build those relationships. That will take time, and that will take the infrastructure so that when you're with those people, calls still get booked, and jobs still get booked.
Jobs to get done, yes.
So that's like the lead generation side. The lead nurturing side is how do we take our existing customers and double their lifetime value?
Okay.
Because if we just took our existing customers without spending any more on ads, we just took what's coming in and we took our existing database and we could double them from, you know, a value of $2,000 a year to $4,000 because we do a better job of booking them when they do come in, and we're creating offers specifically based upon events.
Yeah.
Like, we doubled the business without having to do anything extra.
Wow, that's cool.
And so that lead nurturing comes in the form of email and text messages.
Yes.
And that's all through MailChimp. You can do text and email.
Okay.
You have their phone number. You have
I
their
have all this. I have over 1,000 contacts, so I
know.
have them.
And
I have
think
them
if
in
you-
here.
I think if you spent a few hours to, or even a day,
Yeah.
and kind of like, just even from your own mind, went through the ones and be like, okay, how am I going to tag these in MailChimp? I would tag them like high value. Okay, that's anyone over 5,000.
Yeah.
I'm going to think this is a special group of customers that I am going to tag inside MailChimp that is very, very high value.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to tag based upon like event status, like so whether it be sports, executive, and events, whatever you want to do there.
Okay.
And then I just, for all 4 or 5 of those channels, create a marketing calendar. And it's like, what are the 2 events every single month that I'm going to pitch? What are the 2 offers I'm going to give every single month? Right? And then the offers don't have to be price. It can be like, okay, it's a Buckeyes game. Here's the package you can buy. It's $2,995. It includes picking up from the airport, bringing you back from the game. It comes with the balloons. It comes with a jersey and a hat. Like,
Yes.
people will do that all day.
All day, yes. And that way you don't have to do 50, 100 of them. You just got to do 3 or 4. You be still good.
Yeah.
That's how I like to think.
And then if you split what I like about the segmenting is there's gonna be different events that like no one, like the high executive does not care about the football game.
No.
Right? So we're gonna market to them differently.
Different, yeah.
That's why we wouldn't need to segment them. Eventually.
Yes.
At the beginning you just did everyone, I don't care. Because for all you know, the executive likes sports.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Right? But if they have any sort of connection to the city, they've come here before, you've already got their contact. Which means they've come here for something, whether it be family, events,
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
Or they're an event planner. Like, I would be looking at 20, 30 event planners in this area, and I'd just be going all in on them.
Okay.
Because no matter what they're planning, there's usually a VIP if it's of size.
Yeah.
Or there's an event like a prom or a wedding where they're going to want this sort of service.
Yeah. That's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I wish I had something writing down this, but I was like, okay.
You're
we
good.
just said that.
It really comes down to, though, like to your point, like creating the infrastructure so that you can go do this.
Yes.
Because right now, if you're answering the calls, if you're managing the crew and the guys out in the field.
I can't. Even though my guys are good, they can handle a lot of work without me. It's just building that system that the admin can still be done. Because some days it's just tiring. It's 12, 15-hour days.
Yeah.
You do a PGA with 9 cars, 9 vehicles, 10 people going, and you different places. It's
So from your perspective, and you're managing all of that, what does that look like for you? Like, I hear 12, 15-hour days. If you're not driving, what does that entail besides just the calling? Like, what sort of your role?
That entails, so it'll depend. So I started trusting him. The more I watched your videos, the more I started delegating jobs.
Yeah.
So when you met Mr. Joseph right there, like I give him some jobs that I'm like, I don't need to keep calling you. I know you handle it. Talk to him. He has everything. He's done this before. He knows what to do. So some big jobs, I'm like, hey, this is the lead. Talk to this guy. He handles. But before that, I used to get all the calls. Hey, I need this thing, blah, blah, blah. Something changed, blah, blah, blah. I called, then I have to call the driver and have, hey, this just changed last minute. Let's fix this. Then I'm looking at calendar, and while I'm looking at all that stuff, all the calls are coming in for all the jobs. So I have to make sure that is taken care of. And when you're sitting down, you're also doing the books, payment, making sure they're getting paid, and just, that's kind of what the job is.
Yeah.
And also trying to build those other relationships, respond to emails fast, because I believe the biggest thing that gets me job is that I respond.
Right.
I try to get everybody within an hour.
Yeah.
Just to get, and that's what takes a lot of time, is that point where somebody sends me a request, hey, I need to do this. I'm like, I look at it, send them a text back immediately, hey, we can do this, blah, this is the price, boom. And they say, yes, accepted. Now I have to now book it.
Right.
So that's what takes most of my time right now.
Yeah.
So it's the double booking service, which I'm trying to figuring out how to work that, where it just does it one time where I accept it and it's done.
Yeah.
So I don't have to do it twice.
Yeah.
Because right now it's coming in from the leads, get generated through those high level stuff, and it comes, then I get to put it in my own system, my dispatch system, then send it to the driver. So it's a two-step process for me now.
Right. I gotcha. Yeah, like I think some of the manual entry part, like that part, could be done by like a virtual assistant pretty easily.
Yes.
I do think right now, like especially the high value clients, they're gonna want to talk to you.
Yes.
Right. And so it's a matter of like how can we create a system where you're not on call essentially 24/7.
Exactly.
Even if it was like a phone, like the way that you do the voicemail can be really, really important.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is your personal driver. I'm currently driving. Like, leave me a message. I'll get right back. So they actually feel like they're contacting directly with you.
Okay.
But then they'll still leave the message. It's not like you've reached this company.
Yeah.
Leave us a message. It's like, hey, I'm your personal driver. I can't wait to be of service to you. Leave me a message. I'll get back to you within 60 minutes, guaranteed. Like, that gives you an hour of flexibility to be able to be in a meeting or doing dispatch and not be always
Bugged down.
two phones ringing at the same time.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. It's happened several
Because
times.
the goal is how do you get them to leave a message?
Yes.
And you don't want to be losing 40-50% of your customers.
Yes.
Because
yes.
only 37% of people leave voice messages.
Yes.
But if you can get to 80% by leaving a very specialized voicemail answer,
I like that.
it could be helpful.
Yeah. Because I was thinking it's either that or being able to push that button and they press one, and if my phone rings 4 times, it goes to somebody that picks it up.
Right.
So that's what I was thinking of doing. Someone that picks it up, that can pick it up when I can pick it up.
Yeah.
Or in the weekends, I actually having someone that can pick it up because I'm also doing events and doing other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, working through that part.
And parts of this can be automated. For example, if someone leaves you a voice message, you send them a text message goes to them. You have their phone number.
Yes.
Right? So you can do certain things to kind of.
It always. I have with some of the stuff I have right now. It already does that. Say, hey, I saw you called. How can we help you? It just automatically sends them that message. And it does that. Yes.
Yeah. So I think some elements can be automated, but like ultimately, it's like how do we get more leads? And so I think by going after lead generation, lead nurturing, and like the third component in my mind to kind of grease all these wheels is social media.
Yes.
Like, are we doing anything there right now?
Not a lot. I post on my page. I'm the brand, so it's like I'm figuring out the best way to do it. Whether to post as me or post as the company.
Yeah.
So I'm figuring out a social media plan because I don't have one right now, and I don't.
Well, this is the thing. It's like, well, what are the memorable moments that a customer has and emotions they feel with your brand? And so, whether it be a wedding,
Yeah.
very happy, right?
Yes.
A game, a football game,
Very happy.
right? Like these are events
Concerts.
that are great for social media.
Yes.
And they don't mind you doing any sort of
Yeah.
so video or picture with them. The challenging part is like executives. Like they do not want to be
Executives don't want to be.
Right.
So that's the thing. It's like that's the two-edged sword with this. It's like some people want to be private. They don't want that. We've had situations where it's like people are like, hey, don't even bring your black car.
Yeah.
Get us like a Highlander white,
Right.
off-brand. We just want to blend
Flat.
in. we just want to blend in and go to this. We just visiting family, super VIP people. We just want to go. We don't want people to know we're here.
Right.
So we've done those kind of stuff before. So it's like, I want to be professional. I'm finding my niche. I feel like LinkedIn will be my space, to my jam, where I want to post most of my stuff, because those are the kind of caliber of people I want to be in.
Yeah.
Now, the rest of the stuff, I don't know. I have to figure out a system that, I don't know, maybe it's YouTube Shorts or something that works. But,
even if you're posting on Facebook, Instagram, doing shorts, whatever, and you're going, because remember, we're not really going after the executive. We're going after their assistant.
Assistants, yes.
We're not going after the bride and groom. We're going after the wedding planner.
Yeah.
And so even if you don't post, going to the wedding and with the wedding group, because maybe they're very popular, they're wealthy locally, they don't want that. Or you can just tell they're not going to want that.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, great. I'm not going to post of them, but I'm going to post me getting the everything ready.
Ready, yes.
Like I got the bouquet here.
Yeah.
I got this music. I'm jamming. I'm going to go pick them up.
Yes.
Like that is like, okay, a wedding planner. That's a different service. That's no longer me scheduling an Uber for them after the rehearsal or whatever.
Yes.
I'm getting like something special here
Yes.
for them, and they now look good in front of their client.
Exactly.
And so I think that would still be a good strategy, even if you don't go directly to who you're going to be picking up. You go to the people planning that event,
Okay.
right? And I would probably go your company, because that's who they're going to have that interaction with, and because you don't want to be picking them up.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
So use the company's make their own profile and just use it.
And I would even probably do like parentheses, like your city name. So that way it's like very special. Like it's hey, we know where you're serving.
Service, yes.
You don't get random, because
Yes.
that's the problem with social media with this sort of thing. Like I talked to a guy the other day that does like very specialized fountain work. He gets leads from the entire country.
Wow.
He's like, I can only serve Orlando,
Yes.
right? And so you could just put like, Columbus or Cleveland or whatever you want to serve.
I mean, that was the goal. That's the branch out goal, was build this in cities like this, under 1 million, to get a GM, like how watching you run it, build another one in Cincinnati, build another one in Dayton. Just 3-4 vehicles, three drivers, one CEO, one operator guy, and possibly an office person that takes the call and does the admin.
Well, I think as you cross like 400,000 or 500,000, it makes sense to actually get a full-time admin person in the office.
Yes.
And if you're going to scale to multiple locations down the road, you would actually build an office like 2, 3, 4 people on the phones.
Yes.
Doing, you have a dispatcher, you'd have a salesperson,
Yes.
you'd have a just answering the phone, like lead person. Like that's how you scale this thing.
Yes.
Right? And I think right now you're in this awkward position between 200,000, 500,000.
Yeah.
Where like it's like, well, I kind of need an admin person, but I don't need them all the time. I have 5 or 6 calls a day.
Exactly.
Right? So that's where I just want to dump so many leads on you. You'll just immediately scale to 500,000-600,000 and then be able to afford that.
Yeah.
Right? But you're in this weird, it's like for all businesses, it's a weird zone.
Yeah. So it's like weird zone where I don't want to go taking debt that I don't need and more than I need, and because it's really it's doing well. So it's like I just want to get to a place where when it's really crazy, then I have the job for them, because even now it's like people call me, hey, do you need admin? Do you need a job? I'm like, I can't guarantee you the hours because I'm doing all the taking the calls right now. What day am I going to give to you? You know, so it's like it's a tough one for me. That's why I'm like thinking all these other stuff. But
that's why if we can just focus on the lead side, I know that it'll fix a lot of these problems.
Yes,
we have the vehicles, we have the drivers. It sounds like there's people that you could get more drivers.
Yes.
Like that supply is there.
That supply is there. Yeah.
And so it's like, how do we are literally a sales company and a marketing company.
Yes.
We get leads and when we hand them off to drivers.
Yes.
Right? And so that's where it's like, well, where do the leads come from? Right now they come from ads. That if all of a sudden our customer acquisition cost just doubled on ads, we'd be in a world of hurt.
Yes.
We need to be able to create a dependable stream of leads from ourselves that we are farming. And I think like you creating those relationships, like I'd be contacting the sports teams. Like, hey, I'm your guy. If your coaches are coming in, if your top players are coming in, if you have people you're flying in to be at one of the clubs, like I'm your guy. And that's going to take some work to like just make those connections and then make sure that they're all segmented correctly to be able to constantly keep them warm.
Yeah.
Because if someone come in a year ago and last year they just searched Columbus, Ohio, Chauffeur, and they found you, a year from now, they don't remember your name.
They don't.
They're going back on Google and searching the same thing.
Yeah. Or they text me or randomly text me or find something. And I'm like, oh, yeah, this is the guy.
And so how do we keep them warm?
Warm, yeah.
Right? Like that database to you, I believe, could literally double your business.
I think so.
Just keeping them warm. Like we do it once a month, but I'd say even twice a month for you would be totally fine.
Yeah.
And it's like based upon the events that are happening, like, you know the ones that are big already.
Yeah.
You just double down on them and you crush it.
Yeah.
And then for like locals, for example, live here and you're doing 10, 15, 20 trips a year. Like those are the ones where you're like, okay, I'm going to give these people offers on my slow days, like Monday through Thursday. Here's a special offer for you, right? We're going to give 20% off for local discount for these days. Like you have like happy hour, right?
Nice.
Where it's like, hey, if they go earlier, I can get a second trip in afterwards because everyone wants to come home for the club.
Yeah.
I can get 2 trips in if they come earlier.
Yeah.
So I can give them a discount if they come early, right?
Yeah. Nice.
So there's all those little things. There's so many little things, and I understand like right now where you're at, do you feel like you're juggling like 50 things?
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Oh, man.
So my goal is like get enough leads to where you literally like, I cannot do all of these inbound leads. I cannot take all these calls. I will have to outsource it, and I can now afford it because I could double the business. We've got to get about 500,000.
Yes. I feel like if I do what needs to happen with the leads, 500,000 it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Like it can be done. It's like, but that's gonna cause more problems, and we're gonna have more cars, or if we're getting more cars, we're gonna have that talk when we get there. But yes, adding more things to it, because all this so far has just been on me, just based off the business surviving itself, bringing in, doing what it's doing by itself, and organic, no loans, no nothing, no SBA, nothing yet.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to go there yet till I needed the real need to go there.
Yeah.
So
And I don't think we need to. I think we can create a lot of this lead flow without spending money. Because we already have the capacity. We have the cars, we have the drivers.
Yeah.
We just need to fill their schedule.
Yes.
And setting up MailChimp and emailing everybody and getting all their text message blasts set up isn't going to cost you much. But that can literally double the business.
Okay. I need to get a profession that knows how to do that right. Well, I got to learn it. But yeah.
YouTube.
YouTube.
Like literally you're going to go into MailChimp and there is an ability to be able to connect with Stripe. It'll immediately pull all of your customers in.
Yeah.
And then you can either A, start just the whole database, or B, start segmenting them. And then segmenting is just like, okay, what are the 5 or 6 tags I'm going to use? I'm going to pull them in and make sure they're in these different buckets.
Okay.
Right? But I genuinely believe this is a day project.
Yeah.
I know it seems daunting, but like this one thing I think could double the business without spending any marketing, having any more vehicles. This would just be a matter of getting the leads much more smoother. Because like, you already have their contacts. It makes the setup way easier.
Yeah.
You don't have to set the expectations of what's happening. They already know.
Yes.
The amount of admin work for a customer that's already in the database is lower than a new customer that's never used your service.
Yeah.
And so I'd rather go after that warm customer database.
Yeah.
Like these are people that have already bought from you.
Yeah.
They already like you.
Yeah.
They already trust you.
Yeah.
Like go after them.
Yes.
Like don't go after a cold audience.
Yeah.
Right?
Nice.
And then now your time is much more better spent in a Chamber of Commerce meeting.
Yeah.
Going to a real estate meetup, going to a team event, right? Going to I'd be looking at, okay, if I was a wedding planner in Columbus, what would I be doing? Oh, they have like these little meetups. Great. Guess where you're gonna show up? Right?
There.
You know? So I think it's like relatively simple, and it's cool. Like this is not necessarily like a failing business. This is like how do we scale it past the current point where it's most painful.
Exactly.
And it's most painful when you're in between. Like I kind of drive, I kind of manage. I also need to get the leads. I kind of juggle all the admin.
Yes.
Like you're doing everything in the business.
Yes.
And you can't really afford to start delegating a lot of that until you basically get 500,000.
Go past the level. That's where I am right now. Yes.
And I genuinely believe you're 3 days away from just getting some system set up to be able to get past 500,000 and then be able to afford the admin person.
Yes, I believe that too, because we switched a dispatch system to be so much better and nicer and easier to work with.
Yeah.
And the drivers can get the job, have everything done. So once I fully switch it onto that system, then work on this lead stuff you're talking about. Then I believe we can do it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Let's go, man.
Thank you.
I know it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Did some of your family come over from Nigeria too?
Yes.
Okay.
So my mom just came. She came 2 weeks ago. So she's up. Yeah, she's up there. I told her about this. But then I had a daughter. She's turning 1 in a couple of weeks. So It's like, I mean, started that stuff out of that apartment.
What do they think of everything you're doing over here?
Who?
Your family.
My family. Okay. My family thinks it's So my mom is an entrepreneur, so she
Okay.
she understands it. My dad has always been the W-2 guy, so
Yeah.
they know this is what I love and I enjoy doing this. So
Yeah.
they're happy for me that I finally found something that I enjoy and I do it for the long term. And so they're happy about this.
Good.
They love it because they see what we do. They see the clients. They see how everybody's happy. The people call on the phone, and we just getting to take care of them really well.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And just being able to afford more stuff,
Yeah.
better stuff, and just do a little bit. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
And there's so many things too. Like once you start getting the data from the customers, we can reach out. So for example, like having a Google My Business page with 100+ reviews.
I do.
You do?
I have 89. I'm
Let's
doing
go.
good. See, every time since I watched your videos, I've been implementing stuff, getting better and better and better and better.
Bravo.
So it's not like I've been chilling. I've been really getting better. So when you come here, it's like I've solved that problem. Before you came, I solved that problem.
Let's go.
So yeah, we have 98+ reviews.
Let's
I'm waiting
go.
for your review, Owen. you should get that message 6 hours after.
Gotta let me know.
You get that message 6 hours after. So yeah, we have
that's
great
awesome, man.
reviews.
Good for you.
with our clients.
Oh, see, that's cool. So you use vehicles, driver, company,
Yes.
airport, wedding. That's
Yes,
very cool.
Yes. We do a bunch of weddings on weekends.
That's
then
awesome.
When sports teams come here,
Yep.
then we get a lot of great stuff.
That's so cool, man.
So, yeah.
I think there's so much opportunity. You're in that weird phase where you're gonna feel like you're just doing a bazillion things.
It is.
And I literally think we are 3-4 weeks away from being able to create the systems on the routing software. Like, it sounds like you're working on that.
Yeah.
And then it's a matter of focus on just getting more leads. Like, leads solve everything. And if we can get these leads for basically not spending money.
I want to get my website better.
Yeah.
Because my website is not as good as I think it needs to be.
I agree. I think that's mostly, though, customer facing.
Okay.
And if we've already done service for someone, that box to them is kind of checked off.
Yeah.
I agree, though. I do agree. Like,
For the new guys.
For the new people, we do need,
Yeah,
like-
we need better website because then also bought Columbus Limo and Car Service. I was going to ask you a question. Because that's a really good domain name. I can't believe it's still open, still available. Do I just use that too, or do I just keep my business XCC and leave it that way?
You could literally do both. You could literally take the other one and just forward it to your current site too, just so it ranks well.
Yeah.
Or you could create more of a blog style too, and you can make it more about like your story and things, and then everything just transfers over to the current, business.
Okay.
But it's an SEO thing. Like,
Yes, an SEO
that
thing,
is
yeah,
that will be searched a lot more.
More than
your
yes.
brand.
It's for my brand right now. So I feel like I didn't know what to do with that. So that's
Like, I agree. I do agree. The website is a good move. Like, and to make it more mobile friendly and
Yes.
streamlined,
Yes.
etc. I also know that we can double the business without even having to get people to worry about that because they've already done business with you. You have 1,000+ people.
Yeah, this is the list. Like this is this is what I use right now,
Yeah.
Highmark.
Okay.
So this is how you see all the stuff that's going
That's
on.
so
Like you
cool.
can see Amir, he's doing that job right now.
Yeah.
This is all the jobs we have coming in.
Yep.
Let me see if we go to our reports, our insight. So this is all time.
That's very cool. Dude, okay, got it. Sweet.
So this is what we've done so far this year.
Yep.
We've done 335. This is what we did in each month.
That's cool. 48,000 in June. That's pretty awesome, man.
So it's up from last year. So
for
this
you.
is what last year was.
Yep.
And
And we're not even done June.
we've not done yet.
Oh, you're gonna crush June. June will probably be your best month ever.
Probably.
Good for you, man.
Then this is how to break down Sundays,
Between
what
weeks.
days between weeks, what we
Wow.
do each,
Wow, that's interesting.
and the book into which cars go out and all this. This is June. This is all time. All time booking.
That's interesting.
Trip day. This is 2024 right now. And let me see this one. Yeah, this is what we do.
Oh, they actually give you a breakdown of all this
They
stuff.
give you a breakdown of all the stuff
Oh,
we've
that's
done so
beautiful.
far. So this is all-time airport rides. So we do quite a few.
Right,
So
right.
those are the airports that we do. Not as profitable, but it keeps the light running, and it keeps
Right.
it's a busy job.
Yeah.
So then bachelorettes, anniversaries, corporate is a lot.
concert,
129 concerts. Then
That's
city
so
transfers.
cool, man.
We get a lot of city transfers for people want to go to Cincinnati 4 hours
Yeah,
away, 2
yeah,
hours
yeah.
away.
So you could just use this data for your
Yes.
tagging
For my
inside
tagging.
MailChimp
that's why,
or whatever
yes,
you're using. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
that's what I was going to use to do my tagging and also see my
awesome,
most valuable clients because
Yep.
it shows me all that stuff. So yeah.
Like up here, it has email templates. Does it do mass email?
Yes,
inside
yes,
here?
it does mass emails.
Okay, let
inside
me see
too.
here. Email templates are.
So it tells them when. So if each thing you do, it
Got it.
sends a driver reminder, it sends customer confirmation, it sends all that stuff.
But this one doesn't send like mass email.
No, it doesn't.
Got it.
It's
Got it.
just,
So it's not marketing.
It's just no marketing,
confirmations.
just confirmation
Got
and
it.
stuff like that. So yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. So.
And then even like I'm wondering if you could drive people to a page from if we do use MailChimp, they click on a button for a certain package.
Yeah.
Could you drive them to a checkout or some sort of like?
I feel like we could in the different version of the new one I'm going to from this system.
Yeah.
So we could drive people to different things on their page, and they have better SEO. The people I'm working right now, they have better stuff that we can do, or just do it on my website and just put this as embed this in there.
Right, and then like the button on the email just links over to your
links
site.
over to the site where they just book. Yes.
That's good. Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to be able to have like each page for each of those major 4 or 5 events or like segments on your website that you just drive people to from the email.
Yeah. So
right?
we have about 1,400 clients.
Wow.
Emails with
and phone numbers.
Yes.
That's where it's at. That's where it's at.
Done anything with that. Yes.
Those are all people that know, like, and trust you already.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're not comparing price. They've already done service. They've already had a great experience.
Yes.
That's awesome, man. I think that's the gold mine right there. And so if we can transfer them into something like MailChimp where we can keep leads coming in without having to pay Google, Facebook. Is it just Google right now you're paying?
Yes, just Google right now I'm paying. I do Yelp a little bit too.
Right.
So
yep.
It's too early for him to leave now. Okay, and you'll just send me a text. Okay.
Drivers.
That's good. Drivers.
Gotta love them.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, they'll probably want to interview and stuff. And I know it seems simple, some of the changes, but like I really do believe like the existing customers are the ones that is like the gold mine.
I believe that too. I've been figuring out what works. What will I do to get my existing customers and just be ahead of it? Because I read that somewhere. I watched the YouTube, learned, and it's like, hey, go to the event centers, figure out that what events are coming up, use that, put that in there, send it to them. Facebook groups, all these other places. I could be doing that, but I can't be doing that and also managing it. So it's like. Yeah. What you just said is what the problem is. It's a lot. There's 50 things to do. It's like figure out which one you need to do better at and go for it. Which one is going to move the needle the most, and which is getting the leads in, which will bring me an admin, which will now get me to be able to go out and do other things out there. So
if you ended up actually being able to do over 500,000, I'd probably say get an in-person admin, like you have the office.
Yeah, I want to do it. I always prefer the in-person.
Yep.
And
then if you have them in person, you can train them with some other stuff.
Yes.
Right? Some of these text messages could go to your dispatcher.
Yes.
Right? And you would tell your crew, like, hey, contact the dispatcher.
Yes.
You give that person the phone.
Yes.
Right? But it just comes down to like we probably need at least 10 to 15 leads a day to accommodate having someone here all day.
Yeah.
But then between those things, they can do the email segmentation. They can build the email marketing. Okay. They can do the social media posts.
Yes.
They can manage the books. Like they can do so many other things between all the calls.
Yes. That's kind of what I told the person that is going to come. I'm looking for, it's like, it's just not one thing, because phone calls is one thing. You're probably going to get 6 in a day till we get really good. But there's social media that needs to be handled. There's a lot of other things that you can do. My thing is not paying. It's like, I need you to see the results for what you're doing. It's not paying you. Paying you is one thing, but I just need to see that, hey, we're doing posting, we're doing this, we're doing this. If you show me, hey, this is what I paid you for, this is what I'll pay you. Yeah. You just gotta earn your money, you know? Sure. That's where I'm at with it and figuring out that, so yeah.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
I think that one person could literally get you to the million marker.
Yes.
Right? And so it's like, it is a lead problem. Like if you tomorrow had 50 leads, you'd be like, yeah, I'm going to go find someone tomorrow. We're going to scale this thing up.
Yeah.
That's why I genuinely believe the lowest hanging fruit is putting them into something like MailChimp and emailing people and getting them. Like if you just sent them a more generic, like connecting with them, you get so many responses of people being like, oh yeah, I got someone come up in 2 weeks. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about you. I'm coming next month. Can I book something?
Yeah.
Like you just got to stay top of mind.
Yes. that's the whole marketing thing. Stay top of mind. Yeah.
So I would say, like, in terms of just your general trajectory of growth, I think you can afford the space.
Okay.
And I do believe if we grow fast enough, you'd be able to afford an admin person in person. Because their value is so much more. It's a pain to find them. It's hard to train them sometimes. But the virtual admin staff would only be able to take really the calls.
Yes.
And I feel like a lot of it's still going to come back to you anyways.
Yes.
Because it's such a personalized
Well, it is.
service.
I think that's kind of where people come to me, because it's like, if Obi's going to do it, he has to be professional and he has to be right. So, yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Cool.